Hey everybody, welcome to another Dark Avengers comic book review. My 50th episode. 50 in,
Yeah,
50 more to 100.
Yeah.
Big
Awesome.
extravaganza episode. Everybody here, including the cameraman, Mike, has something to review today.
Yep.
We've got comics, we've got trade paperbacks, we've got mangas, and we've got glasses. I've actually purchased every single lantern glass
They're awesome.
there is. These are just 4. I've got the others
Everybody grab your
also.
glass.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what we got.
Pick up your glass. A toast to the 50th.
Yeah.
50th
Yes,
episode.
50th episode.
And
So yeah,
was
that's
brought to
these
you
4.
by
As you can see back here.
Oh, you showed the label. There you go.
Yes. Back here, you got the other lanterns. I don't think we only have 4. There's 5 more back there. I've got all 9. Believe me. Midtown, huge deal. Once again, guys, all of my comic books, as well as most of my added-on stuff, comes from MidtownComics.com. Also, courtesy of ToonTumblers.com. My Green Lantern glass sold out at Midtown Comics, so I have to go on ToonTumblers.com to get it. So go check those guys out. They've got awesome glasses. You'll be seeing a lot. Toon Tumblers will always be on my reviews from now on, but right now all I have are the lantern ones. I'll be working on getting different types as time goes on. Little change. There'll be lots and lots of new stuff coming on the reviews. Exciting, awesome, fun stuff. Yes, a lot of comics will disappear. A lot of new ones will appear. Toon Tumblers. Get little things here and there. We'll see how as time goes on. Anyway, into the review. I'm going to kickstart this with Marvel Comics, and all the comics I personally am reviewing were released October 13th, 2010. Kickstarting, of course, with the comic I'm dropping, Amazing Spider-Man 645. Shitty story, shitty artwork. I'm dropping it once all the covers are done. One more cover to go, and then you will not be seeing the name Spider-Man unless it involves past comic books or past trade paperbacks on my reviews ever again. So that gets rid of Spider-Man. Another lackluster comic, at least in my opinion this week, the Invincible Iron Man. Iron Man, Tony Stark Resilience. They're trying to make the car. They're having complications. They want to call off the show because they think Tony Stark is in trouble, and Tony Stark tells Pepper they're doomed, and they're sabotaged as a spy. Basically, in the end, they tell everybody they make their own show, and they get bombed. And Detroit Steel's coming after Iron Man. Very little Iron Man in this episode, if at all. Invincible Iron Man is becoming a bunch of talking, though. I'm being honest with you. It's really, I mean, the cover is the only place you actually see the entire Iron Man costume now.
No, actually, no.
Not really. There's a huge explosion at the end, and it's kind of graphic, but that's like the biggest piece of action I actually saw. The big explosion, yeah.
I say it's good for talking and she has a good plot. But
Great artwork. It has pretty good
Yeah.
artwork compared to a lot of things I saw. But yeah, no Iron Man. I mean, doesn't feel like, I don't know. Doesn't feel like Iron Man. Don't be surprised if you don't see it anymore. I'm just starting to lose interest. Another comic that's slowly dying. One of the poisons in comic book storytelling. The New Avengers #5 involving magic. Just like in the past, the eye of, I can't even pronounce the word, is passed from, Doctor Strange takes it from Iron Fist, who gives it back to him after Iron Fist explains the whole story that he didn't steal it, it chose him. He gives it to Dr. Voodoo, he becomes the Sorcerer Supreme yet again. Stupid, but yeah. And there's a whole war going on, and there needs to be a vessel, and as you can see by the cover, the vessel is Wolverine, and then there's a big little to do. I'm telling you guys, probably by the end of this story, I'm probably not going to be getting the new Avengers anymore. One of the Avengers in this picture they claim is going to die.
oh yeah.
No one's going to die.
Mm-mm.
Either somebody's going to leave, or they die and then they come back right away.
That's right. So.
And that's where I'm going to be like, I give up. The Avengers, I'm promising you guys, I'm giving up on the Avengers because Red Hulk is joining the Avengers. The artwork sucks anyway. I'm just finishing off the first story.
Red Hulk.
This is heading out the door too. I'm telling you guys, this is heading out the door right behind it. Now a 50-50 comic book. X-Men #4. Wolverine is now a vampire. And the war is actually beginning between the X-Men and the vampires. Scott Summers goes out of his way to get in contact with Dracula's son. And he's like, look, I know what you're doing. Back off or else there's going to be trouble. And Dracula's son's like, we're all the same. We're like brothers. We should be friends. You know, we should join forces and, you know, the humans and stop them. We're being persecuted and da-da-da-da-da. You get the gist of that. And, of course, Scott Summers turns him down. And he shows Wolverine off to the other X-Men. And they find out Wolverine was a vampire. Shock. And Wolverine and Scott Summers have a moment in this comic where he's like, you should really think about this as a good idea. And Jubilee agrees with him. Of course, they're both under mind control of Dracula's son. The real Wolverine wouldn't say that. Scott Summers says, tempting offer, but no thank you. So Wolverine says, okay, fine, I'm just going to have to come down there and say hello to some old teammates. Being honest with you guys, can't wait for Wolverine to gut Dracula and his son, or his son.
He just wants vampires
But before he does that, I wouldn't mind if he accidentally killed Scott Summers. No offense, guys, I'm really... Scott Summers is... Scott Summers is a douchebag, guys. I'm sorry. I do not like the way they made Scott Summers. I just don't like him. I don't know why. I used to like Scott Summers. In X-Men Evolution, the cartoon series, I love Scott Summers. In the X-Men cartoon, I like Scott Summers. Recently in the comic books, he's a douchebag. Ever since he got together with Emma Frost, he's a douchebag. I think Emma Frost should go bye-bye, Jean should come back, and Scott should stop being such a douchebag. Dick, yeah. Can't like Scott Summers. Maybe Wolverine should kill him. And finally, the last Marvel comic of the week. Daken, Dark Wolverine, #2. Lots of sexual innuendo between Daken and Mystique. Very funny stuff. I'm actually, now, see, this is why, remember I told you when I got Dark Wolverine #1, I said I was going to stick around because it has that kind of like thing that makes it
Was it comical though?
Oh, it was very good. He's flirting with Mystique. Daken flirts with Mystique, and in the end she's like, oh, I'd break you, and he's like, I'd make you scream, and she's like, I'm old enough to be a mother, and there's a pause, and he's like, I'm fine with that. And she gets attracted to him. She's like, she's starting to like him and everything.
Oh, that's funny.
And then the guy on the cover shows up, Wolverine, who is now possessed from the demons in hell, and he goes after Mystique, and Mystique thinks he was set up, but really Daken used her to just pull him out. And then Daken shows up and says, you're not gonna, you kill her, I promise there'll be nowhere you can hide. And in the end, basically, Wolverine says, I wasn't here to kill her, I was here to kill you. And he's left like this, and they leave you off to the next comic book. I believe it's the final part. By the way, if you've noticed the back of the comic books lately, they're advertising cars, but now with Mary Jane and Peter Parker. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they broke up.
Yeah, that's kind of
good advertising. Bad timing.
It's kind of showing though that Mary Jane and Peter Parker is still belong
together. That's
together.
Daken right there. But he has he has the healing factor. Like
I get the strange feeling they're gonna be back together soon. I don't know why. In the Spider-Man comics, Mary Jane and Peter Parker.
No.
I think so.
I think my prediction: Spider-Man and Mary Jane being married again. Give it 5 years.
That long?
Maybe more.
Wow.
Maybe
more.
Was
a lot of fans.
I'm just praying DC Comics doesn't think, okay, they broke Spider-Man and Mary Jane up, so we can do that to Superman and Lois Lane. I'll get. Oh, you won't want to be at that comic review the day they do that.